Hello students and welcome to SmartKidz tutorials. Has it happened to you that you don't know what to do after your 10th? You have completed, you have answered your 10th standard examination, but now you have this problem which was recurring this entire year when people were asking you, when you were asking yourself that what should I do after 10th? So this is something that we'll address in this particular video where we'll try to see what are our options after 10th. It is not that difficult, but it is not that easy as well. Let's see uh, how we can decide on what to take up next after our 10th standard. So remember, I had conducted a survey on our YouTube channel wherein you were asked after SSC what would we like to do, and this is the result that we got. Majority wanted to do science, 55% of them. But what was worrying in this entire survey was that more than 25%, that means more than quarter of all those who had answered. So there were 86 votes. I've not checked now whether it is more than that, but more than quarter of these 86 votes said that they could not decide what to take up next. There were some who decided that they would take up arts, and 8% decided that they would go in for commerce, and a very small percentage decided that they would opt for vocational studies. So, although 55% have chosen to opt for science, not necessary that they know that they have to take science. Usually, our thinking is that if we get a higher percentage, we opt for science. So we'll discuss in this video what exactly we should do. So, what are the things to consider before opting to join a particular stream? Let's have a look. First, you need to consider yourself only. So, you need to be selfish and decide on the fact is what is best for you, what is it that you want, okay, and not what others want. Because ultimately, it is you who is going to study that particular course. You are going to spend hours and hours together, days and months and years trying to be good at what you're going to do. So if you don't like it, chances are that you will not excel at that particular field. So it is important to decide what you want. Sometimes we have a tendency to take our decision based on our friends or our classmates. Means one of my friends wants to join arts, so let's take up arts. No, that is a your friend may have one interest, you may have another interest. See, sometimes we have things in common, but there are chances that we may not like the same subject. Okay, it's like sometimes you may like history, your friend may like geography. Okay, just because you all are friends doesn't mean that you all should like the same thing. So remember, do not take your decision based on your friends. You can always ask them and see what are they planning to take. Then you ask yourself, is that what you want really? And are you going to stick with it for the next 2 to 3 years, or maybe 5 years, or maybe for the rest of your life? Okay, it's a big decision. So always consider yourself before others while taking the decision on what you're going to do next. Next, it is a good idea to consult your parents and your teachers because they have gone through a similar phase in their lives as well. Okay, or any of your elders, somebody whom you feel you can walk up to and ask, somebody who has a knowledge of various fields or of the particular field that you may be interested in. You can ask, take opinion. It's not a bad thing to take opinion. Ask, see what they have to say. Not necessary that you have to uh, base your stream based on the opinion. Take the opinion and then consult yourself. Okay, ask teachers. Teachers are there to guide you. Parents, elders are there to guide you. Okay, so please consult. Next, learn from your seniors. Okay, we don't have uh, big lifespan to make mistakes which our seniors have done. So learn from their mistakes. Sometimes they have taken good steps. Learn from their good steps. See, consult them. Let's say you want to get into science, but you're not sure whether you will be able to do it or not. If you have a senior whom you can consult, okay, somebody who has already taken up science, ask that person what is science like, what are the subjects, what are the topics, how is it, how did he or she find the stream compared to the school, that is 10th standard, what is the workload, okay, how did he or she cope up. And even those who may have changed their stream, maybe from science to maybe commerce or arts, even then you can go to them, ask them why did they do so. Was it tough or was it something that they didn't like? So learn from them. Okay, learn from not only from the good examples but also from the bad examples. Okay, this will give you a good idea of why to join that particular stream, or why not to join that particular stream. Next, money is not everything. Usually we decide on joining a particular stream. Okay, let's say I want to do computer science, so which I'll have to join science, obviously. Why do I want to join? Because I want to be in the IT industry. IT industry, there's a lot of money and so forth. Fine, there is money even in other fields. But the problem here is money a good enough motivator for you to help you to motivate you to study eh, for that particular field? Many of us try to opt for a stream or a subject based on how much money is there in that particular field. For example, everybody wants to join the IT line, that is information technology, computers, because there's a lot of money in that. And for that, we decide to take up computer science. And to take up computer science, we decide to opt for the science stream. Now, it's money is not bad, but the thing is, when you decide on choosing your particular stream based on money, what you need to see is money your biggest motivator? Is it going to motivate you enough to study what you don't like or something that you have least preference for? Okay, what you need to decide when you are trying to take a particular stream or join a particular stream is, are you going to cope up with those studies? Do you like that type of study? Would you be able to put in hours in that particular subject, on that particular subject? Okay, all these factors need to be ascertained, or to that is what you need to consider. Okay, money will come. It, whether you make money or not depends on you and the hard work that you put in, not on that particular stream. What is the guarantee that by the time you finished your graduation or your engineering or whatever you wish to become later on in life, that that particular field will still have money value in it, as it has right now? Okay, something else may come. Technology is changing extremely fast. So what you desire to do now may not be in fashion 6 7 years down the line. That is also something that you need to consider. I know it's a big risk, okay, but I would say money is not should not be the biggest motivator. It can be one of the motivators. It's good to have money as a motivator, because not everybody is born into rich families. Sometimes you work your way up, okay, and money kind of motivates you. That is good enough, okay, but also take into account your interests. Where does your interest lie? What is it that you like to do? If Why can't you combine your motivation with your interest to make money? Okay, so don't make money as your sole motivator. Okay, I want to get into maybe theater arts, become as rich as Shah Rukh Khan or Ritik Roshan, famous as that. All that is good enough. Okay, what you have seen is where they have reached. What you have not seen is how they have reached there and what it takes to reach there. Okay, that also needs to be considered. Next, you are the VIP in the thought process. VIP means very important person. That is why I say, when you consider a particular thing, you have to think about yourself, not what your parents want, not what your teacher wants, not what your friends want. You, you are very, very important, because ultimately your parents are not going to study, your elders are not going to study, your teachers are not going to study, your friends are not going to study for you. You are going to study for yourself. So it is very, very important to first think, are you going to do it? If yes, then great. Then you can go ahead. Okay. But you are very, very important. So you have to see various conditions. You have to see your financial background. You have to see your health. Okay. You have to see whether you like going out too much. And if you choose a subject which requires long hours of study, how is it going to match up? Okay. If you like going out again and again, and you have taken up a subject which requires long hours of focus, long hours of study, it's not going to match up. Ultimately, what is going to happen? You're going to fail. Okay. And that impacts you negatively. It impacts your career also negatively. So think about all that. Though many may think that it's not a very big job to think about just moving from 10 to 11, it is, because the future steps are going to be shaped based on the one step that you're going to take right now. Next, you need to act fast. Okay, we have a tendency to take our time. There is time. Okay, there is time. All right. No, you need to act fast. Okay, it's first come, first serve for admission. So if you're ready, if you're mentally ready, okay, this is what I want. I want to go to commerce because I need a bank job. Clear, you're very clear with your thought. Fine, then you will decide as to what you need to do next. If you've scored well in subjects that require that are necessary for commerce, very good. Take your mark sheet or provisional mark sheet, go get your admission done. Okay, you need to act fast, because you have to understand, on an average, um, in Goa, around 18 to 20,000 students appear every year. Okay, so you are in competition with all of these students. You need to get into your stream in the college that you want, which maybe probably is a college of your liking, preference based on many other factors like transportation, money factor, so on. So you are not the only person who wants that particular stream. There are many others. So you need to be quick when it comes to trying to gain admission. Next, what should be our thought process in this? So this is a funnel shaped diagram that will help you to decide what should be your thought. First thing you should see is, where does your interest lie in deciding what you're going to do next after 10th standard. Okay. When I say interest, it would mean what are the subjects that you like the most. You like history, you like science. Sometimes some students like two or three subjects. Okay. Let's say um, I'm a student, I like, let's say, English, and I also like, say, history, and I also like, say, science. Okay, now one is a language, okay, one is a humanities subject, and one is a hardcore science subject. You have to see among these three which is what you like the most. What is it that you want to become? Okay, you want to become a teacher, you want to become a scientist, or you are interested to become an archaeologist or something. See what you like the most. Okay, do not take the decision based on which uh, subject is very easy for you. Decide on your interests. Sometimes we like stories, so that doesn't mean that we go into the history line. Okay, but sometimes maybe you like history of the world, or maybe you like political science, things like that. Okay, you have to see what is it that you want. Read up, see, you have YouTube now. Okay, if, say, suppose you like about politics, political science, look up topics online, maybe Google, maybe YouTube, see what is it about. Once you go deeper into that, chances are that you may not even like it. Okay, just because somebody else has taken it in your vicinity, maybe uh, you may feel like taking up. Okay, do not take up any particular thing based on how well you can score as well. Okay, because ultimately you're studying and you're taking up a stream is to get a job, and if you go into a job which you don't like, you're stuck for the rest of your life unless you look to change your line altogether. At this stage, don't think about changing your stream. Okay, at this point of time, all you need to think and see is how am I going to go into a line which is going to reap me benefits, reap me fruits in the future. So look at what are your subjects, look at what are your hobbies, look what makes you very passionate. What are you passionate about? What is it about? Helping people, about doing something for people, about cooking. Okay, you love cooking, or let's say if you love gardening and so forth. There are various lines today, there are various opportunities available. Next, you need to ask yourself, why is it that you like that particular line or subject so much? What is so great about it? What is it that something that stands out? So especially if you, and as I said, you may have English, science, or history, three subjects. If you ask this question, why is it that you like English, why is it that you like history, or why is it like you science? If you can answer this question, you will be able to then segregate or separate exactly what you want to take up in the future, one of this time. Then you need to ask, how much is it that you like? Are you really passionate to do it? Okay, I would like to help people. How much would you like to help people, and in which way? That is what is important. Okay, there are various fields then that can help you with that. Okay, that is important. How passionate are you? Next is your ability. It is not enough to be just passionate. What you need to see is whether you will be able to cope up with that particular subject. Let's take for example, uh, I want to take up let's say science. Fine, maybe because I've got a good great percentage, and maybe because my parents are doctors. The thing is, do I have the ability to study science? I'm not saying you are not smart enough. What I'm saying is, do I have the ability to study science? Okay, just because your parents are doctor, you should not be under the pressure that you also should be a doctor. You can be anything else. Okay, and you can be extremely good, better, much better than your parents combined together. So it is not necessary that just because your parents are from one field, okay, that you have to take up that one. Sometimes it can happen that one parent is a doctor, one parent is probably a lawyer, okay, and but you may not be interested. You may be interested in wildlife. That may not require like a high percentage altogether. That doesn't make you any lower. What is important is, are you passionate enough for that, or maybe even photography for that matter? Then comes the thought like, okay, how much are you going to earn in that particular field? That again depends on you, on how high can you. Sometimes we, most of the times, we end up being in a process, trying to be in a profession that has already got a status. But have you thought that with your own hard work, dedication, determination, and self confidence, you can actually take a particular line or a particular field that you want, make it reach to that status as other professions with your sincere hard work and dedication? Yes, you can do that. It has happened in the past. Okay, until today people do that. So it doesn't kind of matter as to where we are. Do not be in do not have that herd mentality. Okay, everybody is going into engineering, I also will go into engineering. Everybody is joining the medical line, they want to be doctors, I also want to be doctors. You can be something different. And remember, when you try to be different, you're going to be one person alone. If you look behind, you won't find anybody behind you. Okay, because you're trying to chart a unique territory. But do not be afraid. Now we have vast opportunities. make use of those opportunities. But it is important to see your ability. Like if you have watched Three Idiots, in the Three Idiots, you had one of the friends who was interested in photography, wildlife photography. But because his parents wanted, he went into engineering. He was not excelling at engineering, but he had excellent photographs, which he even got scholarship. So you see, you have to look at your ability. Just because you're going into something lower as per our status doesn't make your status go low. No, you you have to see what you see through your vision. It is difficult for others to see through the same vision. Then it is your job through your work, through your hard work, to make others see what you have seen in that particular line. Okay, always try to look to improve the society in various ways, and different people look to improve the society by working in different fields. You just because you have become a doctor doesn't mean that you are bigger than the person who collects the garbage outside. If he doesn't collect the garbage outside, then you can understand what will happen. So you have to understand everybody's contribution in the society is extremely important. Of course, some are paid well, some are not paid that well, and some have a elevated status in the society, and some don't. You have to decide what you want to do, because ultimately it is you who is going to go through this process. Next, you got to see is the scope. What are my options after 12th? Yeah, after 10th, obviously, if you take science, then you're going to join science only, or if you're going to arts, of course, after taking science, if you feel it's not your cup of tea, you can always switch over to arts or maybe commerce, whatever. Okay, but what you need to see is uh, what are my options? What am I going to do after 12th? Okay, what am I going to join? If you have that idea now, excellent. If not, you still have 2 years time, that is after you finish your 10th, 11th and 12th, to decide what to do next. Many students would not be in a position to decide what to do after 12th. They don't, we are here, those who are looking at this video are looking at this video because they do not have an idea what they need to do after 10th. Okay, do not worry, after you'll have 2 more years. By 2 more years, your horizon will broaden. You will see that there are more opportunities available, more things you can opt for. So don't worry. Next, we do everything for jobs. So question is, will I get a job after I do this course? Big question. In today's world, it is difficult to answer that question. Will I get a job? Okay. But if you do not get a job, it's not the end of the world. You can opt to create a job for yourself. Become an entrepreneur. Okay. Create your own job, create your own opportunities, and excel at that. And there is no shortage of jobs. It's up to you as to, if you limit. See, you will say, okay, fine, I have done engineering and I should not drive a taxi, is what you would say, because it is beneath my status. But I know people who have not just driven taxis, but now have a fleet of taxi under them, who are engineers. Some are even doctors. So it's not necessary. Sometimes with hard work, dedication, you also need a little bit of luck, okay, to make it big in your field. And sometimes luck is not on our side. So that's when we create our own destiny. So that's not the end of the job. Yes, but it is imperative, it is your duty to see what type of jobs are there in that particular line that you want to opt for. Are they jobs or there are no jobs? Okay. So because it's not everybody's cup of tea to create jobs, to stand on their own feet. Okay. Not everybody is an entrepreneur. Sometimes you have to join a job. Okay, take up a job, okay, that somebody else has created. So this should be your thought process. Okay, so what should be your roadmap like? Okay, in terms of gaining admission. First thing is you need to decide what you want to do. Next is you need to check the colleges that are offering your particular subjects. Okay. For example, I would like to do a particular thing in, let's say, vocational studies, let's say confectionery. So I need to see which are the colleges offering this confectionery subject, and only those I will look to apply for admission. Right? Next thing you need to see is, okay, I have this particular X college that is giving my subject. How far is this place? What type, I mean, how will I commute, or as in how will I move from my place to this particular this thing? Is it very far? Do I have to stay in a hostel? Do I have to stay at a relative's place? Do I have to stay somewhere else to get to this place? Okay. Or if it is, can is walkable distance, they say. You have to also see in this case is whether I can afford. If I have to stay in a hostel, can I afford the fees? Can my parents afford the fees? Okay, that is important. You have to also see at the academic strength how good they are. Okay, do they have a reputation? Because when they have a reputation, it's easier for you to get into colleges, and also that is what employers also look at when when you go for an interview. Co-curricular diversity. All study and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Always look for other opportunities. I'm not saying just physical activities, like in joining some sports, outdoor or indoor sports. It can also be something like if they take part in, let's say, some cultural activities. If you like cultural activities like theater arts and so forth, are they good at that? You can add like an additional dimension to your studies. It doesn't have to be just limited to your subjects or to the theoretical part. Quiz, orations skills, then your theater arts you like, or singing. If your college high secondary participates in all that, you can always look at that angle as well. Next, do you meet the eligibility criteria? Very important. Different colleges have different eligibility criteria. Most of them have a cutoff percentage for maybe arts, science, commerce. Have a look at that. Okay, some have quotas for, let's say, OBC or SC, ST. Have a look at that if you are falling in that particular quota. Then we come to the most critical part, that is fees. Can you afford their fees? If yes, wonderful. You can go to the last step of taking admission. If you cannot afford their fees, then obviously you have to settle down for something there where the thing does not pinch your pocket, falls within your budget. Okay, very important. Everything then boils down to money, whether you can afford or not. How expensive is it going to be? Trying to go to that college, transportation, and so forth. Are they too demanding? Are they looking for donation fees and so forth? All these things need to be taken into account prior to taking admission in your desired high secondary school. What are the options for students after 10th? So we have arts, commerce, science, vocational studies, and we have a fifth one which many don't discuss, that is polytechnic. This is for those students who are interested in getting into trade professions, okay, like say carpentry or some mechanical skills, okay, like turning and so forth, okay, and plumbing and some other things. For that, you have special polytechnic schools, government polytechnic. There is also private ones as well, okay, that you need to join. So I'm not going to discuss of polytechnics. What I'm going to discuss is only about arts, commerce, science, and vocational, because these will then end up taking up a profession after that or going further into colleges. But polytechnic, I'm not going to discuss. There are institutions in Goa that you need to go to, and they will guide you as what can really help you in the future after 10. So those students who do polytechnic do not have to complete their graduation and so forth. They can perfect their skills in one particular line, and that should make them work ready to take up jobs. Okay, coming to arts, commerce, and science. Okay, these are the three usual suspects. You can say these are the ones that are usually there in front of us all the time. It has been there for our elders also. So, arts, commerce, science. Now, many think, okay, have a misconception over here that arts and commerce are easier than science. Whether it is easy or not easy, that depends on you, not on the particular subject. Yes, subject wise, science has a lot to study, okay, but if you are passionate enough and you like maths and the various facets or subjects of science like physics, chemistry, biology, or maybe psychology or computer science, then it's good for you. Otherwise, you have this arts, commerce, okay. But mind you, some try to take up arts and commerce because they think that there will not be any maths. So if you have a look at what is in front of you, okay, this is taken from one of the reputed high secondary schools, the options that are available. And if you notice over here, arts stream has got economics, and commerce stream has got economics and mathematics and statistics. So commerce obviously means that there will be maths in that, but not most of them, I would say, do not know that arts also has got economics. You see, there are two groups. You can either take group one or group two, and both the groups have got economics compulsory, which means there's going to be maths for sure. Okay, and if there is going to be maths, you're not going to escape it. The only difference between the maths that is there in arts and the maths that is there in commerce or the maths that is there in science is the difficulty level. You study a lot of maths in science, okay, comparatively in commerce you study half of that, and compared to commerce you study half of that in arts, mostly in economics. And what I would suggest to students who feel, oh, not again, there is maths. Maths is present in everyday life. You're going to work, then you need to count money. And to count money, you need to know maths. Okay. So either you are going to be taking money on behalf of your boss, or you are going to be the boss one day. For that, you need to keep accounts. Okay. So economics is important. Important to know, because economics will teach you, okay, what is the situation in the country, what is the situation in your own backyard, okay, and how you can use that as an opportunity to grow your business, or to, if the business grows, then it is when you will have an increase in your salary, right? You can't expect the business to remain the way it is and expect your salary to grow. If you need more money, means you need to bring in more business, and to know to bring business, you should know to identify opportunities. So economics is very, very important. Okay, under arts stream you have group 1, group 2. As you see, group 1 will have economics, political science, or sociology. So those who are interested in politics and so forth, group 1 will be best. You have also have history. Histories are also in group 2, and you have psychology, obviously. Okay, these can become mainstream subjects later on when you take up go, I mean, for college, so forth. And you have group 2, which is economics, same as group 1. Then you have sociology. Okay, different. There was a choice here in case of group 1 between political science and sociology. Here there's no choice. However, there's a choice in group 2 with history and third language. Okay, so you can take up that. And psychology would be the same for this. It's up to you. In case of commerce stream, you have economics, then you have mathematics and statistics, your banking, secretarial practice, your business studies, accountancy, lot of theory with a substantial amount of maths. So you can't escape maths over here. Maths is like the bread and butter of commerce students. Okay, you need to, it's not necessary so much for science as much it is for commerce, because commerce is about numbers. Okay, you need to know numbers, whether you're going to join a bank job, you become a CA, or you do some other like CS, secretarial practice, and so forth, that you learn in commerce. Okay, And then you have science stream, which has the usual physics, chemistry, biology, maths, and there's also an option for computer science over here. Okay, so this is one. Apart from that, you would have languages, which is English will be a compulsory language, and then you can add some other languages like Konkani, Hindi, Marathi, Portuguese, French, Sanskrit. Now, in this case, what I would say, the languages with it. If you're not going to go wholeheartedly into the languages, and languages is just thrusted upon you because you have to take one language, then try to go for a language that is easier for you to understand. Some try to go for languages which are easier to score. For example, Sanskrit can be easier to score, but can you uh, do you have the ability? Do you feel that you will be able to manage? Then only opt for it. Otherwise, I would suggest whatever you feel comfortable with, whether it is Konkani or Hindi or Marathi or Portuguese or French, go for that only. Okay. There are other school assessment subjects that are seen, that information technology, physical education, environmental education, and you have that NSS, NCC, YRC. Okay, that you will have. You can opt for any one of them based on what your high secondary is offering. Okay, so this is what you will have when you look to opt for the 11th standard in case of arts, commerce, and science. What if you don't want to and want vocational? Sometimes students upfront they want vocational studies, and sometimes students, those who cannot get into arts, commerce, and science, end up being pushed into vocational studies. Then what are your options? Now these are the this what you see in front of you is a complete list of options that Goa board actually suggests, and these are there with different high secondary schools, but all of them may not be there in the high secondary school that you are looking to take admission. You also have to see the particular high secondary school that you are looking to take admission into. Do they have the subject that you want? Let's say I in the future want to set up a bakery. Okay, then there is a bakery option over here. You need to see the high secondary which are uh, having this bakery course. If they have this bakery course, also try to find out, do they have tie-ups with maybe institutes which teach you culinary skills. If yes, good, because then you can, that's not the end of the word. After you finish your 12th, you need to refine your skills, be better at that, and go further into that line. So if they have a tie-up with any of these institutes, your passage from 12th into this particular institute will become very, very easy. Plus, they may give you also like a project to work with those that institute. That will help you. Okay, so please bear in mind when you take up a particular vocational studies, see that there is some future to that. Just don't take it up because I don't have an option. Okay, there will be options. You look at that, put in some hard work, do some research, find out from people. Okay, you see here you have the lot of them. There is cookery, painting, there are computer applications, floriculture. Okay, travel agency operation can work out well in Goa. Food production. Okay, then life insurance, if you want to be a life insurance agent, can help. General insurance, bakery, food science and costing can be very useful in today's world. Web technology, the list is big, but the list for your particular institution may not be so big. Here is an example of St. Xavier's High Secondary School from MAPSA, and this is what they offer. Okay, you have accountancy and auditing, banking and insurance, and MRIDA, travel and tourism, bakery and confectionery, and under this main headings or subject, they offer all this. You can have a look at them. Okay, like for example, bakery and confectionery. Under this comes bakery, confectionery, food science and costing, accommodation, operations. Very good. This gives you a great idea of not only just the cooking part or the science behind that, but it also helps you to understand of how much it will cost you and how much you should price that particular product that you have made to sell. Because at the end of the day, you're doing that to earn your bread and butter. So you should have some amount of profit as well. That is very important. Okay, so these are some options available when it comes to St. Xavier's High Secondary School, MAPSA. Okay, next, this is another option available for vocational studies from Kamal High Secondary School. So I've taken one from the north, one from the south, and you see they have a different set altogether compared to Xavier's. They have fashion designing and making, office management, computer techniques. Some other school assessment subjects are also here. So if you're interested in fashion designing and making, you will have communication skills. Very, very important. You will say, I just want to design. I don't want to talk. That's not good. If you're not going to talk, then how are you going to sell what you're going to make? Okay, so it is important how you can communicate with your client, with your customer, because ultimately, whatever you make, you have to sell. Foundation course is there, then the fiber teaches you the fine details of fashion designing, understanding fabrics, okay, apparel designing, clothing construction, how to design clothes. An important thing is about dyeing and printing. See, if you did, you know, I can just sell you a product. Let's say I want to sell you some clothes. I'll just sell you. But if I give you details about what to do and what not to do and how to prolong the longevity of your clothes, or how to make take out maximum use of your clothes, okay, you'll be very happy. You'll come back to me again because you know that I'm giving you details which nobody else would be giving you. That is important. Computer techniques are there, very, very important these days to know, to sharpen your computer skills. Most of you will be having good idea about it, but it's always good to know a little bit more. Coming to science, okay, when we see the scope or what are we going to do on science, it's vast. Okay, but if we divide, we can divide it generally into medical part and non-medical part. For medical part, we need when it comes to going to the after 12th, we need to focus on physics, chemistry, biology. And for the non-medical part, we need to focus on physics, chemistry, and maths. These are some of the professions that come under the medical part of science. Like you can become a doctor, nurse, physiotherapist, dentist, pharmacist, clinical researcher, teacher. Teacher you can become in every field actually, majoring in any one particular subject. Like for example, biotechnology, botany, microbiology, genetics. The list is endless. I've just listed down a few of them, more common ones. And as far as the non-medical part is concerned, that will include engineering, doing a BTech. Then you have BBA, MBA, okay, law. You can join defense services as well, or NDA, National Defense Academy, architecture, hotel management, okay. And you can major in any one subject for this non-medical part as well, like physics, chemistry, maths. You can become a teacher in that. Apart from that, then IT comes under non-medical, under science. So you can become a software programmer, um, software specialist, hardware, learn programming languages, do BBA, join IIT, join premier institutes in science like CSIR, DRDO, okay, National Institute of Oceanography is right here in Goa. Okay, so these are some options as far as profession is concerned in terms of science. Look forward to meeting teachers from the university, gaining counseling from various sections. If somebody comes to give you counseling at various events or maybe in the school, keep your ears open. Do not talk. It's not a free lecture. It is they are being called to guide you what you need to do next. Next, commerce. Under commerce, you can do BCom, MCom, look for a bank job, become a chartered accountant, become a company secretary, do BBA, BBM. Okay, finance. You can become financial advisors. Nowadays, everybody has wealth, but they do not know how to manage their wealth. Okay, you can join journalism. Okay, like Economic Times need journalists who are from the commerce background, right? Then you have event management that you can do, big industry these days. Wealth creators, you have money, you do not know how to grow your wealth. Okay, so that's where wealth creators come who know where to put your money. Okay, you get a say certain percentage of the wealth that you grow. So that depends on you how much you can grow your client's wealth. Those are well created. BMS, Bachelor of Management Studies, then BFA, Bachelor of Finance and Accounting, and of course, you can become a teacher as well after doing commerce. Arts. Under arts, you can join history, geography, you can take up a language, become a teacher, or you can go more further into languages, psychology, political science, literature, journalism, law. Many take up law after doing arts. That's why you will find, most of the BA, LLB. Teaching, hospitality, management. Okay, art students can also go into diverse fields. These are just very few ones that I have listed down out here. Just because I've listed these ones doesn't mean that these are the only ones there. Okay, the field is huge, vast. It's an ocean. Okay, and you're looking for that one drop that will quench your thirst. That is how it is. Difficult, but not impossible. You have to see what is it that makes it click for you. Okay, so these are some of the fields that are there for you, options that are there. So you need to see what is best for you. So with this, I end this video over here. Okay, I hope this video has been useful. Share this with your friends as well as your classmates who would also be in the same dilemma where what to choose after 10th standard. Uh, do let me know in the comment section how you found this video. And if you have not subscribed to this video, to this channel, please do subscribe. You can always email your queries to smartkidstutorials@gmail.com and subscribe the channel at SmartKidz Tutorials for 9 and 10. Thank you for being with me in this video. Keep watching for more such videos. Thank you.